All right, so I just got back from vacation, which was fantastic. We went up to Vermont. I have vlog clips. You will see it at the end of the month. It was so nice. But it also means I'm not quite in my filming mode yet. Like, this is the day after we got back, and I still feel like I need like a mini vacation from my vacation. I'm sure that's a relatable concept. But I decided this is like the perfect time for me to film a tag video, and this is one I saw on Joshana's channel lately, so I will link her video down below and where the prompts are from, because the prompts are actually from Goodreads. And this is the, I believe, 20 questions book tag. So let's just get into it, because I have no idea how long this is going to take. So question number 1, how many books is too many books in a series? I think this is hard, because honestly, I think that if people are still purchasing it and still feeling fulfilled, then that's fine. Because there's different types of series, right? Like, it's like how you have different TV shows. Like, I like certain TV show series that will like end after a couple series because it's finished the story it meant to tell. But then you have like serialized TV, which like go on for 10, 12, 15 series, and that doesn't matter as much because it's not about an overarching plot. It's about following these characters and having them be put in different serialized situations. And I think that's similar in books. For like a fantasy series, the sweet spot really is like 3 to 5 books. Any more than that, you have to be very invested. Like, I do think 14, which is the Wheel of Time number, is pretty long. I do think that, like, I don't know, the Dresden Files series works because it is, well, I think it's supposed to be serialized. I've only read the first 4, and I know it's supposed to actually become a bigger thing, but that's like a huge series to the point where I don't even know how many books are in it. And there's also all these short stories and things, but people are liking it, so I wouldn't say it's necessarily too long. It's just, that's really long. So for me, I do think, with very few exceptions, I prefer it 3 to 5 books. That's like a preference thing. That said, I love the Stormlight Archives. I'm very pumped to be reading that for the next like 15 years. I'm very excited. It's probably actually more like 20 years, but I'm really excited about it, and so that doesn't bother me. But on average, longer series, I get like really nervous because I'm just starting so late, and I think I get that way with TV shows too. Like, if a TV show is already like 5 or 6 seasons in and I'd have to like binge to catch up, I'm like, that's an entry barrier. But honestly, the answer is as long as the story needs it to be, right? Like, some stories, it doesn't matter. It can just keep going because it's serialized, whereas others, you know, like, it should wrap up. Like, you don't want a book series to jump the shark. You don't want it to be too long. You don't want a potential for it to not be finished either. So it's nice when you have series like the Realm of the Elderling series, which is like probably, 14 or 16 books. But I never think of it that way because it's split into trilogies and quartets. So, like, there's the Farseer trilogy, and right now I'm in the Live Ship trilogy, and like, that just makes it way more accessible to me. And you have arcs that finish up, and that's very satisfying. To wait 14 books for certain arcs, I think is really long. And that also depends on the series, right? Like, Sanderson, specifically in the Stormlight books, makes it where you kind of go through a whole trilogy's worth of arcs in one book. And I think that works really well. But that's a really long answer to a simple question. I probably should move faster. Number 2, how do you feel about cliffhangers? I think a cliffhanger, if done well, is perfectly fine. I don't dislike them. I think I dislike bad endings more. I don't know. I don't see them as much anymore, but I don't mind a cliffhanger. I mind a cliffhanger and then you're waiting half a decade for the next book. But that's honestly really rare. There's very few authors who don't actually continue their series in like a good clip. So I like them. They're fine. I mean, everything's down to execution, right? Like, for me, I don't have a visceral hatred for cliffhangers. I really do like them in movies and TV shows. It's just not as prevalent in the books I pick up. Not sure why, although sometimes it is prevalent, but like, I have the next book on hand because maybe I was just late coming to the series or whatever, so like, I seamlessly figure out the answers to my like burning questions. Number 3, hardback or paperback? Hardback. I love to collect my books. And I love reading in hardback. I know technically it's nicer to read in paperback, I guess. I don't know. I love hardback. Especially a library copy that's hardback and it's got like the protection thing. Most of my books are hardback if I can get them. The fact that I cannot get multiple Jemison books in hardback, I have 2, and the rest I cannot acquire in hardback drives me insane. Like, Drives me insane because I would really love to have them in hardback and not spend like half $1,000, you know? That's what I would like. But that's always been my preference. I know it's kind of an unpopular opinion, but for physically owning a book, I really like hardbacks. Number 4, favorite book. I just did a whole tier ranking video on ranking my favorite books, and that was already so hard. So I'll link that in the cards so you can really see me, because I think it's so hard to say this is my favorite across genres, like my favorite fantasy versus my favorite science fiction versus my favorite literary fiction versus my favorite historical fiction. Like, that's all very different. It's really hard. Top contenders are His Dark Materials, Elantris, and the Broken Earth trilogy. Those are like top of my head. Can't live without these books. Those are the 3. Like, I'm rereading the 5th season right now, and it's like so good. It's like, when I think of perfection, I think of the 5th season. So that's my best guess. If you want like more in-depth thoughts, that video, that really makes me feel better, because I hate ranking things. It like drives me crazy. Number 5, least favorite book. I like block them out of my memory. Like, there are definitely books that I really don't like. Recently, my least favorite book in the last year and a half is Brave New World. Don't love that. That was my first like rant review on the channel. There's a lot of books that I was forced to read in high school that I didn't really love. I think forcing someone to do literary analysis before they are ready is a recipe for disaster. I mean, I don't know. It was, as someone who now is an avid reader and has always been an avid reader, reading in high school was painful. One in particular that I don't like a lot, Great Expectations. Wuthering Heights wasn't ideal. But again, I read those in high school, so maybe I just wasn't ready for it. But I think both of those, the issues I have is like the prose are like so many words. So many words to describe such simple things. And that's not my preference. I also don't like the last book in a lot of YA dystopians or YA series. But none of them come to mind right now, like with visceral reactions. It's just, I don't know. I luckily don't read that many things that I don't like. And when I do, I get annoyed. Like right now, my Testaments review is getting a lot of love. I think people are just like reading it because of the show coming back. Did not like the Testaments. I love Handmaid's Tale, like the show. That book was not it. I don't like that book. That book makes me angry, not because it's bad, but because I talk about it in that video. You can go check that video out. But yeah, I don't know. I don't linger on the stories that don't connect with me. I'll say that. 6, love triangles. Yes or no? No love triangles, no. I mean, I don't know, mainly because with love triangles, and this is me being old and crotchety and like, you know, that's just who I am now, but there's never the option of, can't we just be single? Like, that's never an option. And I'm just like, yes, you have option A and you have option B, and woe is you for these wonderful options. Well, they're not always wonderful. Sometimes they're both equally unhealthy in different ways. And sometimes I'm just like, but you are like so young, and there could just be an option of like, I just want to spend time with myself. I just want to be me. And that's never an option. I think I'd like it more if that was a part of it. Like, it's fine. It never enhances my reading experience. My ship never wins. Like, that's just, you know, those are my feelings. Number 7, the most recent book you just couldn't finish. I think it might have been An Unspoken Name. I'll have the image here. It's the one with, like, the orc who is a maiden turns into an assassin. I don't know. It was one of my disappointing reads of 2020. I didn't finish it. I read like 50, 100 pages, and I was just like, this isn't doing it for me. It just, that's all I could say. It's like, I was very uninterested. I was very bored. The writing wasn't very captivating for me. I didn't care about the people. Like, you know, those are all the reasons I read, right? And it's like, wow, we're just not doing anything. But that was so long ago. I think that was like a year ago. So I haven't DNF'd anything in like a year, I guess. So that's not too bad. A book I wished I DNF'd was The Burning God. Oh, I wish I had, because I was struggling and I was just hoping, and it didn't didn't do what I wanted, or it did what I wanted, but it didn't do it the way I wanted it done. I don't know. I have a spoiler-free series review about like certain executions of it and things and why I'm disheartened about where things went for me in terms of my enjoyment level of the series. So that's one I wish I had DNF'd, but I did actually finish that one. Number 8, a book you're currently reading. I am currently reading the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. It's a reread. I love it so much. It is so good. And I think later today, like the day you're seeing this video, I'm pretty sure there's like a Jemisin World Hoppers video going up that I'm in with Leanne, Bethany, and Jesse. And we just like, we gush a lot. We also try to figure out like why it does and doesn't work for some people, but we mostly just go, this is perfect art. I love it so much. It's so good. I'm only 3 or 4 chapters in, but it's just... Number 9, last book you recommended to someone. This is very underwhelming. I keep telling Ryan he needs to read the 5th season. I've been telling him that since I read it the first time 2 years ago. But yeah, I guess the real answer really is like I posted a whole recommendation video on Monday with, I don't remember how many books, but it's a good amount of short science fiction and fantasy books that I have mixed experiences with. Like some I love and some I'm like, this was great. But maybe like it wasn't perfect for me. So a really good blend. There's something for everyone in there, and they are all less than 350 pages. Number 10, oldest book you've read. I guess Frankenstein. I don't know when Frankenstein came out. I've read a lot of classics. I was forced to read a lot of them, and I did not like any of them. Like, if your goal as a literature teacher is to inspire people to want to consume literature and analyze it, I love doing that now. But I, like, lost all of that in high school because of, like, all of these dense works I was being forced to read. Oh, and I did not have the attention span. Newest book I've read, publication date. I've read new ones. I read a lot of new books. Chaos on Catnet. That came out in April 26th. So that's the most recent one I think that I've read, Chaos on Catnet. And I'm working on reading Sorrowland soon, which came out May 4th. So yeah, Chaos on Catnet. You should read Catfishing on Catnet. I have a whole series review for that. But that's, I think, the answer. Number 12, favorite author. I have a favorite authors video, and last time I did it, I said Brandon Sanderson, but I'm also currently reading an N.K. Jemisin, so maybe it's N.K. Jemisin today. It's whoever I'm reading, and I'm about to start Hero of Ages, so it's just going to be neck and neck, and they're very different, like, goals in storytelling. But those are my top 2. I have a top 5 video, though, where I just gush about these people that I love to read from because their minds are just wonderful storytellers. So highly recommend that if you want to know more of my tastes and more thoughts. But like Sanderson, Jemisin, flip a coin. It's one of those 2. 13, buying books or borrowing books. I borrow more books than I buy, statistically. That's what I know. Last year I borrowed way more than this year, but this year I've had gift cards to my local bookstore because I help run their book club. So I guess, I'm buying them, but I'm not using my own money. But I used to borrow 70 to 75%. Now I think it's down to like 60 to 65% from the library. And honestly, before BookTube, borrowing from the library is what helped me read faster. Like having a due date was like, oh, I need to finish this in like 2 weeks instead of like me just, I don't know, reading the same book for as long as it took. So giving myself those soft deadlines, because sometimes, you can renew books or, accept the 5-cent fine a day, but like that's what got me to read a lot more. The year I started using the library was the most books I'd ever read in a year. I think it was like 67. And then BookTube happened and things are insane now. Things are a little crazy. Number 14, a book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. I really don't like a lot of Neil Gaiman. Like, a lot. Like, I think one in particular that everyone seems to really like is Neverwhere. I don't get it. I don't. I think it's boring, and I don't like the writing, and I don't like the characters. And that's a book that, like, I started and stopped, like, 3 times throughout, like, my high school and college life until I finally was like, this is 300 pages. I can do this. And I finished it. Couldn't tell you what it's about. So I feel like that's one. I think that's the Neil Gaiman opinions I feel of mine are like that. I think also Misery by Stephen King. A lot of people really love it, and I'm like, this was fine. Like, I didn't hate that one. It was just like, this was good. I really don't like Dance of Dragons by George R.R. Martin. I think I think it's bloated. I don't think the editing is as tight as it needs to be on that one. I think both it and Feast for Crows, he was very popular. He was allowed to just print money on pages, and people weren't editing him as much as they should have been. And I think that happens to a lot of popular authors, but like I was really disappointed in books 4 and 5 of A Song of Ice and Fire because I really liked the third book. I was like, this is so cool. But after that, I was just like, I don't know. I was upset and I was bored. Like, never a good combination. But I feel like that's unpopular. I don't know. I don't think those are very good. 15, bookmarks or dog ears. Bookmarks, I cannot bring myself to forcibly ruin a book. Like, it might happen by accident, but I can't do it on purpose. Like, I don't mind if it accidentally gets beat up. Like, I mean, my mass market paperbacks of, these are Mistborn, kind of show that, like, my Well of Ascension copy is so hurt. So, like, I don't mind if my books get hurt, but I can't do it on purpose. So I bookmark. I mean, but my bookmarks don't have to be fancy. They just have to be, like, pieces of paper. Like, back when I used to print boarding passes for flying, those were, like, the ideal bookmarks. 16, a book you can always reread. Any Cosmere book. I have read most Cosmere books, except for Mistborn Era 2, like 3 to 4 times. So if that doesn't say it, I don't know what else does. I am pretty sure it's any Cosmere book. The rereadability for me is so high. And, you know, I'm not mad about it. I am happy to have that comfort reread series from now until forever. Like, that's fine with me. 17, can you read while hearing music? Only instrumental music, no words. And even then, I only do that when I'm starting to, like, lose my focus and need to be woken up a bit, maybe, or, like, add ambiance, like, if the words on the page itself are not engaging me. But it's not my preference. I'm not a good auditory learner, but my auditory senses will always override my eyes. So it's, like, it's really frustrating when I'm reading and then someone starts to talk to me because that, like, I can't, like, shut it down and, like, focus on reading. I get, like, thrown out of the story. So yeah, definitely can't do music with words. And if I do, it's usually an instrumental playlist on Spotify or something like that. 18, one point of view or multiple point of views. Multiple point of views. I mean, I don't dislike either, but most of the books on my shelves are multiple point of views. So I think that definitely means that's my preference, especially like, I don't know, multiple point of views, you have a better chance of latching on to and caring about someone in the story. If you have one point of view, that point of view better work for you, because that's it. That's the story. 19, do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? I am such a slow reader. I can read, like, maybe 50, 55 pages an hour. Like, maybe. And then that doesn't include my lack of attention span. So if it's a novella, if it's like 100, 150 pages, maybe I can read it in a day. But more often than not, we're talking multiple days. That's just how it is, which is why I'm always so surprised when I do pick up a book and I read it in like 2 days. I'm like, I just flew through that. But no, I'm a multi-day person. I wish I could binge them out. I think that'd be really fun. It's like, you know, watching a movie in a day or something, but with a book. But there are also other books, like, I just read a Robin Hobb, Mad Ship, where it's like, I really liked spending 2 to 3 weeks in that world with those people. I liked that slow pace of reading for that story for me. So, but I'm just a slow reader. I am confined by the limits of my attention span and reading speed. 20, who do you tag? Well, I don't know. Let's see. I don't actually know how many people have done this. I don't think I've seen it in a lot of my friends. But let's see. I will tag Leslie from The Nerdy Narrative. I will tag Evie from She Was Only Evie. I will tag Judith from Dead Good Book Reviews because she is so close to 1,000 subscribers. Guys, please go subscribe. She does great reviews. She reads a lot. Quality content, quality human. Also, if she gets to 1,000 subscribers, I can like tag her with the little @ sign. And that's just so much easier for me. But I tag you, Judith. You can do this because I don't think you've done a tag in a minute, and I would love to hear your preferences. And let's do another one for good measure. Let's do Laura from A Book Circus because I don't think she's done a tag in a while either. And I would love to hear her opinions. All of those people are wonderful humans. They will be tagged down below. You should follow them, subscribe, all those things. And that's this chaotic mess. I don't know if this was remotely interesting, but it was fun for me to film. And if you made it this far, use like the question mark emojis, because like 20 questions. And like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.